This update I originally shot this video with, I wasn't going to be able to get that uploaded today, so I figured might as well just live stream. So as you can see in the photo here, this is my new Siren. It is a 1942 816 port Sterling model M5. It is 3-phase. It came from a city in Ohio. I didn't get it directly from there, and this Siren has changed hands 3 times or more. So the first person that had it was Archon, and then Ram Fett. You guys are probably all familiar with his videos of Milwaukee County. He had it, and then he reached out to me. He was looking to get rid of it and wanted it to go to a good home, to someone that knew about sirens. So I went down there. Me and Elise went and picked it up, and then brought it here. And there's the 500 motor. There's the Sterling M5. The motors are basically the same size. It's just that this is a 10 horse, and that's a 5 horsepower motor. So this one's from 1942. The end bells are all cast iron. As you can tell, here's a magnet. So that's cast iron, but the rotors are still aluminum. As you can see, here's a balancing mark on there. So yeah, maybe I can get her wound up a little bit here. As you can see, it's snowed outside. She makes a fair bit of noise. Just the 8-port side's on there right now. 8-ports stator. That's a 16-port stator there. As you can see, she's whipping pretty good. It's pretty good for only getting it going with my foot. Up there is where the end bells are. I don't know if you'll be able to see them. You might be able to see them poking out. But these are the end caps. This one broke prior to my custody of the Siren. It only came with one rotor cover, and then there's the motor cover. It's all inside the 500 horn because it takes up so much room. I figured I'd put as much of the Siren inside the 500 as I can. The 500 will be done this summer, God willing. Just noticed I have a stripped screw here. Sweet. Oh, damn. Just poked myself. Oh, we'll get that out later. But yeah, not much has happened with the 500. Same still painted pieces, the intake, and all that sort of stuff. And then the covers. Still got to degrease a lot of this stuff and make sure that the gear reducer's in good shape still, because it looked like a lot of oil leaked out onto this. This was solid black with solidified oil from the gear reducer, I'd like to imagine. So yeah, just got to clean and repaint that, but then the Sterling will be done next. So once the 500's done, then I'll start and finish the Sterling. Shouldn't take too long. But oh, what type of Sterling? It is like I said earlier in the video, if you're just tuning in, it's a 816 port Sterling M5, 3-phase model, made in 1942. What I like about these Sterlings, even though they weigh a lot, it didn't really take that much. We were able to get it inside Elise's Honda Pilot and in the trunk, and then was able to load it all the way back here. The Siren doesn't weigh too much, and the thing is, they're built really well. Like, these aren't going to go bad as often as like a newer Federal or something. Anything old is not going to go as bad as a newer Federal. But yeah, it has the oil ports for the bearings here, which is nice. You don't got to get in there with a grease gun or something. Just oil them up that way. For considering how old this motor is and how big it is, I'm surprised that the wires are this small to it. And those look to be like 12 gauge wires. Well, I think they would have been a little beefier because the 500 had some massive gauge wires going to it. We can even go take a look at them. I think they're right here. Yeah, this is one of the legs of the 500's 3-phase. So it had 3 of these massive, I'd gotta say that these are at least 10 gauge wires or so. But that's pretty ridiculous. So I don't know if they just undersized the wires on the Sterling or what the deal is, but or just because the 500 is a bigger motor. So my guess is that the Sterling doesn't pull as many amps as the 500. The 500 pulls 35 amps, if I recall correctly. And then it appears as if the Sterling, here, I don't know if you guys can read that. Yeah, but it looks to say that it pulls 20, oh, it's 220 volts at 23 amps. So yeah, not quite half of what the pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Like I said, I was going to film a video, but a live stream would be much easier. So yeah, there's the 500, and then the Sterling's over there. So the 500 should be completed by July, hopefully. I got a sandblast gun for Christmas, so it'll be easier to take all the paint and rust off of the horn that way versus using the wire wheel, especially for the intricate parts of the mounting bracket there and the stand. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys all have a Merry Christmas.